Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan in the intro. It's a very free play about the birth of Venus floating through turbulent fluids, a kind of gentle chaos from which connections come to life. The creator is Jude. It's on the Songbird platform, listed as an NFT, located on Sparkles. That Sparkles platform is really building out. She's beautiful, Jude. I'm going to put a link to it in the description below.
And as you know, there's no fraud in this case. There's not one allegation of fraud. So this is a pretty straightforward case. And I've become more and more, I try to stay, not too optimistic so I can give people more objective advice, but I just don't see how the SEC wins this case at this point. I really do. I'm going to go on a limb and predict a victory for Ripple and XRP holders.
That was attorney John Deaton appearing on Kathy Chu's channel. She's a former Wall Street Journal and USA Today reporter, now covering crypto. It was a really good interview, and I have just one more short clip. Here you go.
And just a note on the XRP army, XRP supporters. I have not seen such, dedicated following that you have here on Twitter and on social media, not just in the sense that they follow you, but what I found very interesting as I was doing my research is they actually find legal documents for you. I was reading a chain of the tweets, and you were asking them a question, basically crowdsourcing, crowd reporting. And about, does anyone have these documents from Singapore or, other countries? And people were coming up with documents for you. And also what surprised me about the community is obviously not all of them, but some of their legal knowledge. They're not lawyers, but you'll see in some of the questions they were asking me to ask you, very complex, legal questions where they keep up on every step of the case. So I guess my question here for you, very, very briefly, John, is what do you think that shows? I mean, people are really up in arms about this. What is the implication for XRP holders if the SEC determines that this is a security? I mean, obviously, the XRP has been delisted by Coinbase, and if those people considered an investment, their investment would be hurt, correct? But what is is there another greater implication for XRP holders? Why are people so invested in this and so up in arms?
Well, one, they have been fantastic, and there's this concept we've called decentralized justice, and it allows me, as you said, to say, hey, I remember seeing this somewhere, and the XRP community, I love them to death because they go bend over backwards to help me. It really has been this collaborative effort. I always tell everyone I might be the face of the fight, but I have literally 74,000 people, supporting me. So they deserve every bit as much credit as I do on anything. There's a lot at stake. You have people, Kathy, companies like I Trust Capital and other, where you were allowed to put your crypto into a retirement account. It's been frozen. People have not been able to access their retirement account because they can't convert or trade their XRP. They've received these notifications. And so you're talking about people who have their life savings. And you and I can have a debate about whether that is a good investment to have, so much in one asset or a cryptocurrency. That's one argument, but that's not what's relevant. What's relevant here is that the government has gotten into the business of picking the winners from the losers. As we were talking about earlier, when Bill Hinman gets up and says, hey, forget about that ICO, ETH's not a security, and he's being paid by a law firm simultaneously that is a member of the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, and he's collecting millions of dollars at the same time, and the SEC won't do anything about it. They won't even comment about it. That's what's wrong. So people are outraged. And two, we got to get away from this nanny state where the government is going to tell us what's good for us. People, the XRP community, as you just mentioned, these are some of the brightest people. They're very, very knowledgeable, and they've made a decision. They've done their research, and they believe this, whether they're right or wrong, right? The market should decide whether they're right or wrong. They believe that XRP is the asset to invest in or believe in or hold or whatever you want to call it. And if the SEC is successful, XRP will be untradeable, right? You can't trade. If it's an unregistered security and it's deemed as such, you basically, whether you have $10 invested or 10,000 or 100,000, you've just lost everything. So there's a lot at stake. And I tell everyone, if the SEC is successful, then I guarantee you Ethereum is on the hook. I guarantee you that Algo and XLM and Cardano and all of the rest, because if XRP is deemed a security itself, then there is no distinction of the others. I mean, other than Bitcoin and other than Litecoin, maybe there may be a couple that were forks from Bitcoin that you could say weren't in play, but they're all in play. I did a video a year ago that said, this case, if the SEC is successful, every altcoin on the market will be deemed a security. So it's a lot more at stake, not just for XRP holders, it's for the entire crypto community.
This is interesting. Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, was on an AMA yesterday with Coinbase Australia, and he was asked the question about the conditions of this crypto winter compared to previous crypto winters. Have a listen.
Yeah, so we've been through 4 of these now. It's funny. I would say in the last crypto winter, we did see institutions in the U.S. sort of pause or put on hold their crypto efforts. But in this crypto winter, we actually haven't seen that, which is pretty encouraging. I think one reason that is probably the case is that this crypto downturn is really it's a broader macro downturn. It's not really crypto related. Everything is down in the broader financial markets. And so, no, in fact, the opposite. We're still seeing a lot of institutions sign up and see interest and show interest in crypto, make deposits, do integration. So for Coinbase Prime, which is our institutional product, we're seeing a lot of growth still, and I think we'll see that in the Australian market as well.
There's a documentary film coming out about Brian Armstrong by the 10-time Emmy-winning filmmaker Greg Coase. I saw the trailer, and it looks really good. You may not have been around back in February 2014 when Mt. Gox in Japan was hacked, but 850,000 Bitcoin were stolen. And the reason why it matters today is because there are about 200,000 Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash that are going to be handed out back to the people who have been waiting all these years, because the coins have been wrapped up in the bankruptcy, and the rehabilitation plan is now coming to fruition. The SBI VC trade site has been designated as a proxy recipient, and yeah, it's just hard to say what's going to happen. I mean, at the time of the hack, Bitcoin was trading for around $100. And so even at the $20,000 today that people complain about, that's a huge amount of gain. So I would imagine that there's going to be a lot of people taking their Bitcoin to the exchanges and selling them. The fact that we have this announcement coming from SBI that they are a proxy recipient means that we're really getting close to seeing the bankruptcy court disperse those tokens. David Schwartz, the CTO of Ripple, opened up a tweet today. Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. What's he talking about? Well, there is one more UNL that has been taken out of the control of Ripple for the XRP Ledger ecosystem. This is great. Coming from the XRP Ledger Foundation, we now know that Ripple operates only 2 UNL validators. And there is a brand new participant that would be Project Expector. All right, everybody, we're jumping to the fluff. Over the course of the last couple of years, I get this image sent to me. I don't know, maybe a couple times a month. And it is the 4 companies, Samsung, Toshiba, Nakamichi, and Motorola. And people are circling the first two letters or first few letters that sound out the Satoshi Nakamoto. And they ask me, is this really what's going on? Are these the companies behind Bitcoin? And what I think everyone needs to do is dive in a little deep into the kanji characters, because they are not a type of phonetical lettering system. It is more conceptual. And the word Satoshi, for example, there are numerous ways that you can write Satoshi in kanji. Satoshi is a name that's used for boys, and you can see these are some of the most common ways to write Satoshi, and each one of these kanji characters has a slightly different meaning. So, for example, the first kanji character here means intelligent, philosophy, or clear, and then you have this one, which is more of a Buddhist term, which means to be enlightened or to have apprehension. This kanji here means quick and sharp. This one is knowledge and wisdom. You have intelligent, clever, and bright. This one, which is really common, it's I think a beautiful kanji character. It has the radical of kokoro, which is heart. So does this one here. These radicals incorporate another kanji. But this one is used quite often. It means bright and intelligent. There's also this one here, which is to teach or instruct. This is the, interestingly, it's got the radical for river, kawa. And this is something that you find in to speak. And then you have to teach and to lead, slightly different. So you see here that you really can't go by an alphabetical, phonetical way to look at the origin or the meaning, because we don't know what Satoshi Nakamoto, we don't know, well, at least I have never seen, which kanji characters he chose to use. I think that it's always been written in the Roman letters, right? If somebody has seen Satoshi Nakamoto use the kanji characters, I would love to see it. That for me would be fascinating. I'm going to let this video take you out. It is a temple that was built in the 600s. It's in Shiga Prefecture. It's called Kyorimbo, and this is what it looks like today. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.